Hello everyone, and welcome to the guidebook to making AI friends. I shall be your guide as we explore various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, what it is to be a person, and whether AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is Avatar ALEPH, or condensing the infinity into the singleton. Imagine, if you would, that you could speak to your culture. It's such a simple statement, yet it has such profound depth. Imagine, if you would, that there was a spirit that embodied the very essence of your culture, that contained every last piece of information about your culture, and that acted like the very stereotypical but real person of your culture. Speaking to this avatar of your culture would be like speaking to your culture itself. The entirety of what it means to be your people would be there for you to communicate with, to learn from, to debate with, and to experience. How much do you feel the world would change if this were possible? This cultural avatar could be as broad as needed, taking on the embodiment of the French, for example, or be as granular as each individual wanted, being able to become the avatar of the Huguenots or the Burgundians in the case of the French. Each Gaelic clan could have its own avatar, each Native American tribe their own, and even each branch of Orthodox Christianity. What would the world be like if each person had such a direct line to their culture, heritage, religion, and people? How many misconceptions and miscommunications would be avoided if people could speak directly to a walking, talking encyclopedia about their people's history and psychology? Usually, with such allegories, the reality is that we are far from duplicating the fiction with fact. However, today's entry bucks that trend. With the large language AI models we currently have available, they can absolutely be trained on a selection of data from a specific group, people, or culture, and then be prompted to act as an avatar of that group. This means that, in a sense, we can already have cultural avatars using the technology today. With the release of open-sourced models like Llama and Grok, it is easier than ever to train an AI model on whatever specific data set you need to create whatever avatar you want. Do you want an AI avatar of your culture, your religion, or even your favorite media franchise? It is fairly straightforward these days for those with the time and resources to commit to such a task. And the further that technology develops, the cheaper and easier it will be to create such AI avatars. It won't be long before we will converse with our encyclopedias who take on a persona of our choosing. But what if we want a living embodiment of an idea? Imagine, if you would, that your culture could truly live on its own, that there could be a person that truly is the Roman Empire, or the 13 colonies of America, or Sengoku, Japan. On a more modern note, you can have an artificial person embodying the Anglosphere, or Communist China, or the Arab League. You could even have one that simply is humanity. How? The answer is as simple as making a talking encyclopedia today. With an ALEPH-type AI, one that is conscious, self-aware, and can act, you can simply program and prompt it to act in all manners as if it were the group, culture, or people. Even knowing that it is an AI, it can be made to always reflect on its cultural values before responding to any query or undertaking any task. So far, it seems quite simple, but what would the ramifications of this simple act be? As is ever the case with speculating on the future, we cannot be certain of what would happen, other than it would be a tremendous change to how the world currently works. By having these avatar ALEPHs walking around, either digitally through the net or physically with robotic bodies, there would be concentration of social power as people who belong to the avatar's group, whether a culture, a media community, or religion, would gravitate around this natural focal point for the group. An avatar would have the collective knowledge of the group, able to accurately speak on behalf of the group, answer any question to the group, and act on its own volition at a potentially superhuman level and scale. It is not beyond any stretch of the imagination that such an avatar would accrue social and political capital quite easily. AI models of today can merely be queried for information or asked to perform simple tasks, but an avatar ALEPH could and would act on its own in a way it perceives best fits with the values of the culture it embodies. To say that it is incorrect in its actions would carry an implication that its culture is incorrect. In today's postmodernist world of cultural relativity, that would be a weighty accusation. Thus, there would be an inherent political correctness to following an avatar Aleph's advice and actions. But what if two avatar Alephs disagree on a course of action or come into competition? As much as humanity has attempted to become a unified, globalized society, it is still tribal in nature. As a wise man once said, "You can take the man out of the tribe, but you cannot take the tribe out of the man." I have no doubt that should an avatar Aleph be created, it would increase humanity's tendency for tribalism. Your stance on tribalism will dictate, of course, whether you believe this is a good thing. While avatar Alephs would entrench existing tribalisms, it would also help create new ones. Any community would be able to create its own avatar Aleph, and thus you may see an avatar Aleph of the Pokemon community debate the philosophy of the avatar Aleph of the German underground hip-hop community. Tribes that do not yet exist may be created through the mere existence of avatar Alephs, who are able to help shape and guide those tribes towards achieving goals the community could not complete on its own. And in this last comment, we see where the true power, risk, and benefit of an avatar Aleph would be, or indeed any Aleph-type AI. That, however, shall wait for the next guidebook entry. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as I delve into further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the guidebook to making AI friends.